Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Maasros Maasros, Perek Gimel, Mishnah Hay and Mishnah Vav we're doing today. Mishnah Hay says, "Ha'ezuhu chatzer she chayeves ha'maisha." We learned in previous Mishnahs, once you bring it into your yard, your private yard, right, that's bailus over it, and your chayev and shumas ha'maisha is tovel, it becomes tevel. Your chayev and shumas ha'maisha is Rabbi Yishmael Omer chatzer. What is that chatzer? What type of yard are we talking about? Rabbi Yishmael Omer chatzer atzuris. He's talking about a chatzar they have in Sur, which is Tyre, which is part of Lebanon. I don't know. In Lebanon, they have yards where you store things. I don't know. They start tires. I don't know where they're storing in Lebanon. They're storing. I'm not going to say. They're storing stuff there. So it's a private place. Rabbi Akiva Omer Kol she'echad poseach ve'echad noel ptura. He says, it has to be where you're the sole owner of the yard. If you have a partner, let's say you live in a duplex or something like that, you both share a yard, so one guy opens, one guy closes, that's not called a chutzner. It has to be singular ownership of the chutzner. As long as it's a private place where there's fences, let's say, or bushes where you'll be able to eat there, people don't want to eat in public, that's already chayaves. Even technically, if it doesn't really belong to you 100%. Rabbi Yossi Omer, if someone would go in there, let's say a beggar would go in there, and no one would tell him to leave, right? What do you need here? No one would tell him to leave. That's already a chatzar. Let's say there's two yards, an inner one and an outer one. If you go into the outer one, doesn't make it tevel. Only when you go into the inner one, that's the more private one. That's what makes it tevel. There are 5 different opinions, but a chatzar is the halacha. Interestingly enough, follows all of them l'chomra. So if it falls into any categorization of a chatzar, it's already considered tevel. Why that's true, that we're going lahachmir over here, I'm going to explain more in Ian Mitzion coming up next. Vav, hagagos pturin, even though the chatzeros, right, a yard makes it tevel, even if you bring it through your yard, or you bring it straight up the elevator to your roof, that's pater. Al bi shehem shel chatzar chayeves. Even if the gag is in the chatzar, right, you have a yard closing your house, right, and the gag is on top of that, and you had to get through the chutzner to get to the gag, it doesn't make a difference if your intention was to bring it up to the roof to dry out there, so it's still not tevel. Beis shar achsadrim repezes arei l'kichatzar. A beis shar is, let's say you have like a police booth in front of your house, security guard is over there. Achsadra, you have a pavilion, or pergola, umer peset, or you have a porch. Arei l'kichatzar, that's considered like a chatzar in chayeves. Chayavim ptura. This means to say that if it's dalet al dalet, it's only considered a chatzar. If it's 4 amos by 4 amos, it has to be a little bit of space there. If it's less than that, then it's not called a beis shar chadrim or peses, and it's not chayev. That's the conclusion of today's shir. Stay tuned for Ian Mitzion. We discuss more about this first Mishnah that are all chayev, all 5 shitas are chayev. Why is that? Coming up next.